This is Matthew Cratter from Bitcoin University. Today I want to talk about finding the next GameStop. And I want to start by saying that I'm actually quite sympathetic to the whole Wall Street Bets GameStop crowd. Their movement seems to have been born out of a certain populist rage against a rigged system where haughty elites wield too much control and too little real wisdom. And what Wall Street Bets did in January of 2021, triggering that massive short squeeze in GameStop, and in the process dealing a death blow to the hedge fund Melvin Capital, was impressive. It also showed just how rotten Robinhood was when they turned off the buy button and even liquidated customers' positions in order to protect their buddies at Citadel and elsewhere. That's when I made this video, when I urged everyone to delete Robinhood, and I haven't used them since then. If you want to learn more about this whole history, you can read this Wikipedia article about the GameStop short squeeze. There's also the movie Dumb Money. In this video, though, I want to talk about why I think that this movement is on the wrong track, why they're playing a rigged game where they can never win, and what the next GameStop looks like, more importantly. First, GameStop, the company. This is not a great business. In fact, it's a really bad business, and maybe it was a deep value play when Rory and Kitty first discovered it, but it's certainly not one at today's valuations, currently sporting a market cap of nearly $9 billion. And this is for a company that's had flat revenues really since 2021. This is for a company that made only $6 million. This is denominated in thousands of dollars. They made only $7 million in the past 12 months after hemorrhaging hundreds of millions of dollars for the years before. This is really the kind of business where capital goes to die. If you take a look at their double-digit negative return on equity, negative return on invested capital, even when this business was full steam ahead, it still had very small net margins, and of course now it has negative operating and net margins. I'm not following the saga too closely this time, but I can guarantee you that if Rory and Kitty and friends succeed in blowing up any hedge fund or institution whose demise poses a systemic risk to the financial system, the U.S. government and the Fed will once again intervene and bail them out using taxpayer dollars or by revving up the money printers. And either of those methods hurts the people that Rory and Kitty is trying to help. If you're enjoying this video so far, I just ask you to help to support the channel. Subscribe, like, comment, share. You can also get a channel membership by clicking the join button below, or you can see the link in the pinned comment. This is the problem with the whole GameStop movement, Wall Street Bets. You really cannot reform a system from within that system. And you can't start a revolution with an asset like shares of stock that can live only inside of a brokerage account and that's at the mercy of regulators, and that can be printed to infinity. GameStop can sell an infinite number of shares if they want to. It's great for the company, takes the threat of bankruptcy off the table, but who really cares? They don't seem to be very good capital allocators. They have a very poor operating business, and even after all the capital raises that they've been able to do because people have been pumping their stock, they only have $3.54 in cash per share and book value of just over $4 per share, compared to where it's trading right now at $24 a share. The exchanges can also halt trading of GME shares whenever they choose. The brokerages can turn off the buy button again if pressured by regulators. The clearinghouses can cancel trades that they don't like, just like they did with Berkshire Hathaway a few days ago. So you really are playing a rigged game. Here was people who bought the dip on Berkshire Hathaway when there was a technical issue on the stock exchange, and of course all those trades got canceled, as they always do. If you want to have fun blowing up things that are corrupt, if you want to get rich at the same time, I'd ask you and the whole GameStop movement to consider the ultimate attack on a corrupt system. It's called Bitcoin. It's not GameStop or some other meme stock or crypto. Bitcoin is very special because you can hold it in self-custody. You don't have to hold it at Robinhood or in a brokerage account or at Coinbase or anywhere else. You don't have to be relying on third parties like custodians, clearinghouses, brokerages, as you do if you're using stocks like GME to fight this revolution. Also, Bitcoin can't be frozen if you hold it yourself. You can send it to anyone without needing to ask permission from Robinhood or banksters or custodians. Bitcoin has a fixed supply and cannot be diluted to infinity like GME shares can. Bitcoin doesn't have circuit breakers, and you can take Bitcoin with you anywhere in the world in a brain wallet. You just memorize your 12-word recovery seed, so you can take the revolution anywhere you need to. By contrast, Roaring Kitty seems to live at the mercy of another really crappy company called E-Trade. He acknowledged reports that E-Trade is considering removing him from its platform and said that he logs on every morning wondering if he'll be able to access his account. So it doesn't matter if he has $200 million in that account. That can all be frozen and taken from him by the corrupt system. People in the community talking about the manipulation of GameStop shares, for example, this after-hour action that Peruvian Bull is talking about here. This actually is not market manipulation. This is what a very thinly traded after hours market always looks like. This is really bid-ask bounce, where someone buys it at the bid and then someone buys it at the offer. You want to see what real manipulation looks like, though? How about turning complete control of an economy over to banksters, allowing them to manipulate both the price of money, interest rates, and the supply of money? That's real manipulation, giving control of a global economy to just a couple of people like this, who aren't very smart, who are just lawyers and former investment bankers and have no real insight into how economies work, how productive economies and productive people work. That's pure insanity. That's really manipulation on a global scale. And giving control of your money to central banks, that's really market manipulation that punishes everyone with inflation and malinvestment and an out of control and ravenous federal government. So here's how you can actually do the next GameStop and really start the revolution. You just buy some Bitcoin, you buy some BTC, and you withdraw it from the exchange. You do your part, you take some supply off the market permanently, put it into cold storage, and you go to the beach. Bitcoin is going to be the greatest short squeeze, and in many ways already has, in the history of the world, because there are only 21 million Bitcoin and there are 8 billion people, most of whom still own 0 Bitcoin, i.e. they're short something that they're going to need to buy in the future. This is why it looks a lot like a short squeeze. So if you want to bring down the system, if you want to stop Wall Street, if you want to stop the banksters and their puppets once and for all you need to do, you don't buy something that's locked in a brokerage account that can be manipulated. You just buy BTC, you hodl it, and you head to the beach. The good news is you also don't need to buy a whole Bitcoin, which currently costs about $67,000 per coin. You can buy small amounts that work for you, like $50 or $100 worth. And I'm not being paid by any of these groups, but here's some good places to buy Bitcoin. You can buy it at Swan Bitcoin. You can buy it at River Financial. You can buy it at Strike. And then after you've bought it, the most important thing is to withdraw it from these exchanges, from these apps, and hold it yourself. This is how you get true power. So buy yourself a cold card hardware wallet or a slightly cheaper hardware wallet like the Blockstream Jade. You can watch these 2 videos, how to set up Sparrow Wallet on your desktop, and then how to link your hardware wallet to that. Then you just withdraw. You give your exchange a Bitcoin withdrawal address. You can take your Bitcoin into cold storage, and that's when the revolution really begins. And it's a very quiet revolution. It's a very peaceful revolution. But what it is instead of playing inside of a corrupt system, as the GameStop people are doing, you can opt out of the system, opt into a circular economy, and take control from the politicians and from the central banksters. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the subscribe and like buttons. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when I publish my next video. And let me know your questions and comments in the comment section below. Thanks all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.